Hello everyone and welcome back to another Storytime video. And today I am going to talk about why I went back to school. Now, for a little bit of context, what I mean by this is that whenever I finished my first college degree and got that, I was not sure at that time if I wanted to go back to school, and I hadn't fully ruled it out. And I'm glad that the opportunity was still there for me to go back to school. And after a little over a year gap uh, between going to college the first time and going to college the second time, I did go back. So that's what I mean by going back to school. I don't mean, returning from a summer break or going to college after high school or any of that. I mean that I finished college, decided that I wanted more school, and I went back after some time. Now, I went back to school because, well, mainly because the first job that I had out of school was a job that I did not like. I did not like it. I was overworked. I felt like, especially toward the end, I was getting underpaid or being underpaid. And I can talk about all that in another storytime video one day in depth. And why I didn't like it, but I was overworked and underappreciated, and toward the end, I felt underpaid. I say only toward the end because I had that job for over a year, and the long and short of why I felt like I was underpaid is that I never got a raise for being there for a year. I did not. I didn't. I didn't. But simply put, I also started to realize with that time that in order to get into the specialty of IT that I wanted to do, because I work in IT in case you don't know, then I figured out that I needed more school based on uh, looking at requirements for jobs online and talking to people and all that. I realized that in order to get to where I wanted to be in IT, I needed to get a higher degree. Also, another reason why I did not like my first IT job, there was no opportunity for growth. And again, I can get to that in another Storytime video in depth one day, but I think I have some legitimate gripes with that. But this is not the video for that. So, I also realized that I also realized that I had the funds to go back to school. So I realized that it was very feasible for me to still go back to school and not have any debt or student loan debt. Cuz when I graduated school the first time, I did not have any student loan debt. And thankfully when I graduate the second time, I'm not again. Now, I was worried that I would have some student loan debt and something that would kind of shackle me for a few years. That was a real concern for me. Thankfully, I'm not going to wind up with any student loan debt when I graduate again. Uh, so that's a big plus there. And I am able to do school online this time, so it makes it a lot easier to work and get more experience with the one degree that I already have, while I'm working toward a higher degree. And also, I figured that even if I was going to eventually get to where I wanted to get to in IT, it would have taken me uh, a lot longer than if I didn't have this degree. So I saw it as raising my floor in terms of my career aspirations, able to get to my goals faster. So think about, you're on a ladder eh, and you're trying to get up several rungs and you have many goals, those being the little rungs, and then you reach the top of the ladder, right? Let's say you're like 6 rungs away from the top. With getting this higher degree, I felt like instead of 6 rungs, I would be about 3 or 4 rungs from the top instead, and I would, instead of climbing up one rung, let's say every 10 minutes, it would be every 5 minutes or every 8 minutes or something like that. It would be in 10 minutes. And it would be a lot less difficult uh, in order to climb those rungs. Sorry. So that's the way that I saw going back to school as the opportunity for that career growth. And I I would definitely do it again if I had the opportunity to do it again. It's it it's been a real boon. It's been really awesome. Um, and I'm glad that I made the decision to go back. And um, so yeah, if anybody is thinking about going back to school, especially if you're going back for a legitimate reason like I did to get a higher degree in order to have a real good shot, because in order to do what I wanted to do in terms of a specialty, it would have kind of been a long shot. And so now it's it's going to be a lot more likely that I actually get to do what I want to do in terms of a specialty. And I knew, just as I said, that I had the funds. So as long as you have a tangible physical goal, well, not physical, but as long as you have a tangible goal and the funds to do it, to where hopefully you're not going to wind up in student loan debt, by all means, I encourage it. But if one or both of those things are not applicable, then I would have to condone it uh, on a case by case basis. But I would always encourage people to go back to school as long as they have a real goal in mind and they can make it work financially. So, but yeah. And so, yes, guys, I do believe that that will do it for this storytime video and Slack storytime video. I will see you later. Goodbye, guys. Thank you all for watching.